Quazi here, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the most powerful way to craft subliminals and how I crafted mine. Before I begin this video, I wanted to quickly announce that I'm doing a free giveaway of my book, Life Mastery. If you would like to get this book for free and win it in the ebook version at the end of the week, just comment Life Mastery down below, and you'll be enrolled in a competition to get this book for free in the ebook format. So it's around $12 on Amazon, but if you just comment Life Mastery down below, you'll be enrolled in the competition. Also wanted to quickly announce that I'm still doing the free one-to-one consult for the Reality Mastery program. If you're interested, wait till the end of the video for the announcement on that. With that, let's get started with this video. So in this video, I want to talk to you about the power of subliminals and affirmations in general, and why they're effective and how I crafted mine and the most effective way to craft yours. So essentially, subliminals are a way to access your subconscious and your unconscious mind, so to influence it in a more deeper state. So as we know, all of our behaviors and unconscious patterns are molded by the unconscious mind, our genetic information, and how we've lived our lives up until now unconsciously, what sort of media we've consumed, what sort of music we listen to, which is very powerful and influence your mind. So make sure you're mindful of what type of music you listen to. If you're listening to death metal all the time, your thoughts are going to go into that sort of pattern. So essentially your thoughts and your emotions are data in versus data out. Sometimes you might be wondering, why do I have these negative thoughts all the time? Well, this is why. If you become conscious, then you can eliminate these negative thoughts, but when you fall unconscious again, they're going to keep coming back. So subliminals are a powerful way to influence your subconscious mind. Make sure you're using this, because I use this every single day, every night before bed. I plug in my headphones, listen to my subliminals as I'm falling asleep, and it has powerfully changed my reality. I can promise you that. With that, let's discuss the key principles behind subliminals and how I actually craft mine. Essentially, the key is that it must be feeling rich. At a conscious level, when you're writing your subliminals, if you take it from an external source like online, or if you write them yourself, whatever it may be, you can look for inspiration. I prefer to write my personal subliminals myself because I can induce more feelings that way. I make it more personal to me and it's not someone else's. But if you choose to take someone else's, make sure it's feeling rich at the conscious level first. Any sort of visualization, any sort of affirmation that's not feeling rich and doesn't induce a feeling within you is insincere. If it doesn't connect to the heart, it is just insincere and it's not of the soul. You must make it a part of the soul in order for it to become effective. That's why visualizing without feeling and just trying to turn some slide in your mind's eye without connecting to the feelings and invoking these feelings is just useless. You might as well not do it. So, muttering some affirmation to yourself day in, day out is just useless unless it evokes emotions in you. So with that in mind, I also like to change up my affirmations every 3 months and my subliminals every 3 months, because I find that that's the period of time it takes for it to just become a complete part of your system. So around 40 days to 3 months is ideal. So make sure you don't use the same affirmation and subliminal for years and years and years, unless it really strikes up an emotion within you every single time. But it's almost like listening to music. You almost grow sick of the same song if you keep playing it out over and over and over again. You become immune to it. It doesn't have an effect on you anymore. So in understanding that, we come to our key principle that any sort of subliminal that you use must be feeling rich at the conscious level. And that's why I always like to say my affirmations out consciously to see how it resonates, and if it actually resonates with me and I'm aligned to it and I can feel into it, and then I turn them into subliminals. The next important part is the categories of subliminals. And how I like to do this is I like to have 4 categories, and I like to have no more than 10 affirmations. So 10 subliminals. That's it, 10 sentences, no more than that. So what I like to do is break them down into categories. So I have 2 for health, 2 for wealth, 2 for relationships, and 4 for character. If you'd like to see what my personal affirmations are, just comment below. I'll make another video about it, but in this video I'm not going to be sharing with you what my personal ones are. So 2 for health, 2 for wealth, 2 for relationships, and 4 for character. Why I like to do 4 for character is because it's really easy to mold a character with affirmations. Like, if you can influence your subconscious, then you can just influence your character at a much larger level. So remember that your conscious mind is around 5%, your subconscious mind is around another 5%, and your unconscious mind is around 90%. So some people, sometimes, we call the unconscious mind subconscious, but the unconscious mind is largely 90%, but the subconscious is 5 and conscious 5. So we use unconscious and subconscious interchangeably. So for the purposes of this video, sometimes I might be saying subconscious, but remember I mean unconscious. So when you use subliminals, you influence the unconscious mind. So now, after I've crafted my affirmations, I want to talk to you about how I actually use them, because that's a big part of it as well. So the key is, change them up every 3 months, have 4 categories. I like to have no more than 10 or else I get sick of them. If you're getting sick of them and you see that you're doing these forcefully, then it's not effective anymore, because now you're just creating resistance to it, and now you're forcing yourself to do it, and you generate what is known as excess potential by putting too much importance on it. If you don't know what excess potential is, click up here. But essentially, when you put too much importance on something, its effectiveness gets reduced by 99%. So in terms of its utilization, what I like to do is 20 minutes before bed and within 20 minutes span of after I wake up, I like to read my affirmations and use my subliminals. Before bed, what I do is I read my affirmations and consciously embody these feelings and embody that, being that ideal version of myself, that character I would like to be, and the version of myself that gets all of these things and gets the success. And then what I do is I set around a 15 to 20 minute timer on my subliminals, and I plug them into my ear as I fall asleep. I found that it's effective to have it within a 15 to 20 minute timer, as opposed to playing it all night, because when you wake up in the morning, you start with a headache, and I don't want that. And it's only effective 15 to 20 minutes until the point you fall asleep, because of this reason. What happens is 20 minutes before you fall asleep and 20 minutes right after you wake up, that's when your unconscious mind is the most moldable. It's the most flexible at that time, and it's really easy to influence the mind at that point. So that's why I like to set my subliminals on timer in my ears 20 minutes before I fall asleep. Make sure you're doing this, and if you want to try going all night with it, then go for it, but I find that useless, because what I like to do is after I read my affirmations, I plug in my subliminals and I close my eyes and I imagine myself at my ideal location with all of these things happening. And I like to put a little background music to my subliminals, and you can do that in any editing app. I use Final Cut Pro to edit my subliminals, the audio, and I put a little background music over it, so to make it soothing and calming as opposed to harsh, because I'm falling asleep. I would want to fall asleep. So yeah, the key is you read your affirmations first, and then you plug in your subliminals as you're falling asleep, and you imagine the ideal scene where all of this stuff is happening in your life. If you do this, then you get a significant edge over any sort of other practice, because once you start to influence your mind, yourself, right up until the point where you fall asleep, you can consciously drift it into dreams even, they say. But no one's ever really conscious up until the point they sleep. If you could remain 100% conscious until the point you fall asleep, then you would be able to get into a state of lucid dreaming. So people just fall unconscious up until that boundary. So what I ask you to do is try to stay as conscious as you can as you're listening to these subliminals, and also visualize yourself and imagine yourself at your ideal location. This practice alone, if done for 40 days straight, will completely transform your reality. So make sure you're doing this. What I like to do in the morning after I wake up, I don't use the subliminals anymore, but rather I just read my affirmations again up until 20 minutes that I wake up. I just get up, read my subliminals, get up from bed, and continue with my daily tasks. This is important again because 20 minutes up until the point you wake up, your mind is again very, very flexible. So with that, that's all of the practices that I do. Make sure you understand the key, which is that it must be feeling rich. And the way I ensure that it's feeling rich is I mutter them out to myself at a conscious level and see how much feeling it's invoking. And again, feelings run out because you'll be listening to music and the same songs won't have as much of an effect to you. Maybe you come back to it after a long time and it gains its effectiveness, but you want to change it every 3 months or so. So key must be feeling rich, and I use the 4 categories as I mentioned: health, wealth, relationships, and character. And also the way I utilize them is before bed, I read my affirmations, get into that state, And as I'm falling asleep, up until the point I fall asleep, I have my subliminals plugged in for around 15 to 20 minute timer. And there's a great app for this. It's called the Cloud app, Cloud Music Player. And you can transfer your subliminals after you've recorded them. So make sure you do that. It's really powerful because that thing has a timer and you can play it on loop. So I like to play it on loop, and I put a 15 to 20 minute timer as I'm falling asleep. So before bed, read and become conscious up until the point you fall asleep with your subliminals plugged in so you can visualize yourself at your ideal location. Finally, in the morning, I read my affirmations and then visualize myself at my ideal location, but don't use a subliminal at this point because it's just pointless at the same time if I'm doing it. It's just distracting me from embodying it consciously. So ideally, you want to make this process as conscious as you can, but up until the point you fall asleep is just trying to keep yourself conscious by plugging in the subliminals. I hope that made sense. So with that, I conclude this video, and thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope this helped. If it did, leave me a comment down in the comment section and let me know what you thought. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, and also like and leave me a comment so I know you're new to the channel and I can welcome you. If this video helped you, please share it with a friend so they may benefit as well. I'm excited to announce that I'm also growing a massive Facebook group where I'll be sharing all of this kind of stuff, and we have a great group of great members. If you'd like to be part of this amazing community, just click on the link in the description below, and I hope I see you there. And also, I'm excited to announce that I'm still holding the Reality Mastery free consultation, as I mentioned before. And this is, again, an intro to the Reality Mastery program. And if you don't know what the Reality Mastery program is, it's essentially the most powerful paradigm of manifestation. What I've found in my personal life is that whenever I started to become that version of myself that gets that thing that I want, I instantly got it. When I shifted into the version of myself that's a 4.0 GPA student, I started getting 4.0 GPA in school. When I shifted into the version of myself that the attractive version of Quazi that gets his dream partner, I met the exact girl of my dreams. When I shifted into the version of myself that's a successful entrepreneur, I was able to quit my 9-to-5 job. When I shifted into the version of myself that has, that's the Quazi that works out, is very fit, has the physique that he wants, I instantly got the physique that I wanted. All of this is possible for you as well, and I know it because I've helped my clients do the exact same in their lives. So if you're interested, definitely click on the link below to sign up for the free consultation, which is around 45 minutes to an hour long. And we'll be going through that, diagnosing your current law of attraction practices and how you can implement identity shifting into your life right now. So if you're interested, definitely click on the link in the description below, and I hope I see you there. Till next time, peace.